Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Driving Insights Podcast by M5 Management Services, where we cover ways for your fixed operations department to gain efficiency, customer retention, and long-term profitability. I'm your host, Tim Harkins, brand manager here at M5 Management Services, and on today's show, we'll talk about the challenges service departments face in breaking even, the impact of parts transfer on profitability, and actionable strategies to improve performance and close the gap between expenses and revenue. So buckle up. You're listening to Driving Insights. Now, before we get started with today's episode, let me tell you about the Complete Service Manager Workshop. Are you ready to step up and become the all-pro your service department needs? This 5-day intensive workshop is tailored for service managers who want to lead with confidence, drive efficiency, and deliver exceptional results. You'll gain expertise in advanced financial management, master strategies for streamlining operations, and learn how to coach your team to peak performance. Led by industry veteran Lee Harkins, this hands-on program provides practical tools and insights you can put to work right away. From setting clear goals to maximizing your team's potential, you'll walk away ready to lead your department like a true professional. Don't wait to take your skills and your department to the next level. Sign up now at www.m5ms.com and click the banner at the top of the page for all the details. So, breaking even in a service department can feel like a puzzle with way too many missing pieces. The reality is the financial challenges service departments face are often rooted in systemic issues rather than singular, obvious problems. Yet many managers fall into the trap of addressing symptoms instead of solving the deeper issues that undermine their performance. It's essential to recognize the unique complexity of a service department, though. Unlike other areas of the dealership, service departments deal with variables that are difficult to control: fluctuating workloads, unpredictable customer demands, and the intricacies of managing both human labor and physical resources. These challenges make profitability not just about managing numbers, but also about creating systems that support efficiency and consistency. For example, a common issue is the gap between a department's capacity and its actual productivity. A shop may have enough technicians to handle the workload on paper, but poor scheduling or ineffective dispatching can lead to underutilized hours. This disconnect between potential and actual performance is a silent profit killer. Addressing it requires looking beyond surface-level metrics like headcount or total hours worked and diving into the systems that drive daily operations. Another critical factor is clarity. Many service managers struggle because their goals aren't clearly defined. It's not enough to aim for more profitability or better performance. Without specific, measurable targets, the team is left navigating without direction. Breaking even begins with understanding the true state of the department, its strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for improvement, and using that knowledge to set realistic goals. Ultimately, breaking even isn't just a financial milestone. It's an indication that a department has built a solid foundation. Once you've addressed the structural issues holding you back, profitability becomes a much more attainable goal. But without that foundation, even the most well-intentioned efforts will struggle to gain traction. Parts transfer is one of those practices that, while common, can paint a distorted picture of a service department's financial health. At first glance, the numbers might look good after factoring in parts transfer. It can seem like the department is performing well. But this sense of security is often misplaced because parts transfer doesn't reflect the department's true profitability. So why does this happen? Parts transfer is essentially an internal adjustment, shifting costs and profits between departments within the dealership. While it serves a purpose for overall financial reporting, it obscures the actual performance of the service department. Relying on this adjusted view can lead to complacency, making it harder to identify and address real issues. Evaluating a service department's performance before parts transfer is crucial. This approach gives you an unfiltered view of how the department operates as a standalone entity. It highlights whether labor, processes, and resources are being managed effectively. It also reveals inefficiencies that might be masked by the artificial boost provided by parts transfer. For example, imagine a department that consistently relies on parts transfer to show a positive net profit. Without this adjustment, the numbers might tell a different story, one of inefficiencies in scheduling, poor utilization of technician hours, or ineffective communication between advisors and technicians. These issues can't be resolved by accounting adjustments. They require operational improvements. By focusing on pre-transfer performance, managers can set more accurate benchmarks and make decisions based on the department's actual capabilities. This clarity allows for more targeted strategies, whether it's improving workflow, enhancing technician training, or refining appointment scheduling. Parts transfer can give you a short-term boost, but true profitability comes from addressing the operational issues that affect your bottom line. So, when profitability is out of reach, the instinct to cut expenses can be pretty strong. On paper, it makes sense. If costs are too high, reducing them should solve the problem, right? But the reality is a little more nuanced than that. You can't slash your way to success, especially in a service department where expenses often correlate directly with performance. Staffing is one of the first areas many managers consider when looking to reduce costs. It's an easy target because labor is one of the largest expenses in any service department. But cutting staff can create more problems than it solves. A reduced workforce means fewer hours available to bill, longer wait times for customers, and increased pressure on the remaining team. Over time, these consequences can lead to lower customer satisfaction, higher turnover, and diminished profitability. Training budgets are another common casualty of expense cutting. It's easy to justify scaling back on training when times are tough, but this approach is short-sighted. Without proper training, advisors and technicians struggle to perform at their best. Mistakes become more frequent, efficiency drops, and customers' trust erodes. The cost of these issues often far outweighs the savings from reduced training expenditures. The key is to shift from viewing expenses as a problem to seeing them as an opportunity. Every dollar spent should have a purpose and a measurable impact. If an expense isn't driving results, the solution isn't necessarily to eliminate it. It might be to allocate it more effectively. For instance, instead of cutting hours, focus on maximizing the productivity of the hours you already have. Instead of reducing marketing budgets, invest in more targeted campaigns that drive higher quality leads. Cutting costs might offer temporary relief, but it doesn't address the underlying issues that impact profitability. A more effective approach is to focus on operational efficiency, ensuring that every aspect of the department is contributing to its success. This mindset not only helps you break even, but also sets the stage for long-term growth. Now, breaking even might sound straightforward, but it's a concept that's often misunderstood or oversimplified. At its core, breaking even is about ensuring that your revenue covers your expenses. To achieve this, you need a clear understanding of the numbers driving your department's performance. So let's start with a basic scenario. If your monthly expenses total $136,000 and your gross profit percentage is 70%, you'll need $194,286 in labor sales just to break even. This calculation gives you a concrete goal, but the real challenge is turning that goal into actionable steps. The next step is to translate labor sales into shop hours. If your effective labor rate is $90 per hour, dividing $194,286 by 90 reveals that you'll need 2,158 hours per month to cover your costs. Now, this isn't just a theoretical figure, it's a benchmark that can guide your decision making. Now, let's say your current monthly labor sales are $180,000. That's a shortfall of $14,286. Dividing this figure by your $90 labor rate shows that you'll need to produce an additional 158.7 hours per month to break even. Spread across 20 workdays and 8 technicians, this amounts to less than 1 extra hour per day per technician. On paper, this might seem manageable, but it raises important questions. Why are those hours being captured already? Are technicians waiting on parts or approvals? Is poor scheduling causing inefficiencies? Identifying and addressing these bottlenecks is essential to closing the gap. The math behind breaking even isn't just about numbers, it's about clarity. By understanding the specific targets you need to hit, you can evaluate your current performance more effectively. This clarity empowers you to make informed decisions, whether it's adjusting schedules, investing in training, or refining processes. That's why we teach this very subject in the Complete Service Manager workshop, because breaking even isn't just a financial milestone, it's a sign that your department is operating at its full potential. Now, if you're a service manager finding it tough to break even and identify the root causes of operational bottlenecks, we're here to help. Our expert consultants specialize in providing clear, actionable strategies to streamline your processes and improve your department's financial health. We'll guide you toward creating a more efficient, productive operation with happier customers along the way. Visit our website and fill out our free consultation form at www.m5ms.com today. So once you've calculated the gap between your current sales and the sales needed to break even, the next step is to figure out how to close that gap. This isn't just a matter of squeezing more hours out of your technicians, it's about understanding where inefficiencies lie and how to address them systematically. For instance, if you need an additional 158.7 hours per month, it's tempting to think of that as a straightforward increase in workload. But the reality is that those hours aren't appearing for a reason. Maybe technicians are losing time waiting for work to be assigned, or advisors are struggling to effectively communicate with customers and secure approvals. These bottlenecks, though small in isolation, can add up to significant losses over time. Another critical consideration is whether your team is operating at full capacity. If technicians are currently producing an average of 7 hours per day, but the shop's effective capacity is closer to 9 hours per day, there's clearly room for improvement. However, increasing productivity isn't just about telling your team to work harder. It's about identifying the obstacles that prevent them from reaching their potential and addressing those directly. Look at the tools and resources available to your team. Are advisors equipped with the training they need to effectively manage customer expectations and streamline workflows? Are technicians given clear priorities and realistic timelines? These factors are often overlooked but can have a profound impact on your ability to bridge the gap between current and required sales. Ultimately, closing this gap requires a combination of better processes, stronger leadership, and a commitment to continuous improvement. It's not just about placing the burden on any one individual or group, but about creating an environment where everyone can succeed. When you do this, the additional hours needed to break even become a natural byproduct of an efficient, well-run operation. To effectively address underperformance, it's essential to identify the factors contributing to it. Poor financial results in a service department don't happen in isolation. They're the outcome of specific challenges that, if left unchecked, can spiral into larger issues. Now, one of the most common contributors is poor technician attendance. Every time a technician is absent, the shop loses valuable hours that could have been billed. While occasional absences are unavoidable, chronic attendance issues can create a ripple effect, leading to scheduling headaches and frustrated customers. Addressing these requires not just enforcing attendance policies, but also fostering a workplace culture where technicians feel valued and motivated to show up consistently. Another significant issue is inefficiency in dispatching. Poorly organized dispatching processes can lead to wasted time, miscommunication, and uneven workloads among technicians. A technician who spends a quarter of their day waiting for their next assignment isn't just losing productivity, they're also losing morale. Streamlining dispatching procedures and ensuring work is assigned promptly and appropriately can go a long way toward improving overall efficiency. Advisor performance is another key area. Service advisors are the bridge between customers and technicians, and their ability to manage that relationship effectively can make or break a department's profitability. If advisors lack the training or tools needed to sell additional services, secure approvals, or handle objections, the entire operation suffers. Investing in advisor development isn't just a nice to have, it's a necessity. Then there's the issue of underutilized multi-point inspections. When technicians don't perform thorough inspections or advisors fail to communicate findings to customers, you're leaving money on the table. Multi-point inspections are a critical tool for identifying additional work that benefits both the customer and the department, but they're only effective if they're fully integrated into the workflow. Finally, poor appointment scheduling can create chaos in a shop. Overbooking leads to rushed work and dissatisfied customers, while underbooking leaves technicians idle and revenue untapped. Effective scheduling requires a deep understanding of your shop's capacity and the ability to match it with customer demand in a balanced way. By addressing these contributors to underperformance, you can create a foundation for success. Each of these factors, when improved, has a cascading effect that boosts productivity, enhances customer satisfaction, and brings you closer to profitability. Now, improving performance in a service department isn't about sweeping changes or grand strategies. It's about making focused, actionable improvements that address specific pain points. Once you've identified the key contributors to underperformance, the next step is to tackle them systematically. Start with technician productivity. Look at the average hours each technician is producing and compare that to their capacity. If there's a gap, figure out why. Is it because they're waiting for approvals or spending too much time on non-billable tasks? Addressing these issues might involve better communication between advisors and technicians or streamlining parts ordering to reduce downtime. Next, focus on advisor training. Service advisors play a pivotal role in the customer experience, and their ability to communicate effectively can significantly impact your bottom line. Training should emphasize not just product knowledge, but also interpersonal skills such as handling objections, explaining repairs, and building trust. A well-trained advisor can turn a hesitant customer into a loyal one, boosting both immediate and long-term revenue. Appointment scheduling is another area ripe for improvement. Analyze your current scheduling practices to see if they align with your shop's capacity. If you're consistently overbooking, consider implementing a more realistic scheduling system that prioritizes quality over quantity. If underbooking is the issue, ramp up your outreach efforts to bring in more customers during slower periods. Finally, take a hard look at your pay plans. Are they designed to incentivize the behaviors you want to see? A good pay plan should reward productivity, efficiency, and customer satisfaction, creating a win-win scenario for both employees and the department. If your current system isn't driving the results you need, it might be time to rethink your approach. Improving performance is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. It requires regular evaluation, open communication, and a willingness to adapt. But when you commit to making these changes, the results can be transformative. You'll not only break even, but you'll also set the stage for sustained profitability. So the final piece of the puzzle is reflection. Breaking even isn't just about implementing changes, it's about regularly assessing whether those changes are working and identifying new opportunities for improvement. A service department that's willing to take an honest look at itself will always have an edge over the one that assumes everything is fine. Self-assessment starts with data. Track key performance indicators or KPIs like technician productivity, labor hours billed, and customer satisfaction scores. Tools like Rose Plus can absolutely help in this scenario. These metrics provide a clear picture of how your department is performing and highlight areas that need attention. But data alone isn't enough. You also need to listen to your team. Technicians and advisors often have valuable insights into challenges they face daily, and their feedback can be instrumental in shaping effective solutions. It's also important to involve your team in the goal-setting process. When everyone understands what the department is working toward and why those goals matter, they're more likely to buy into the changes needed to achieve them. This sense of ownership can drive engagement, motivation, and ultimately better results. Finally, remember that self-assessment is a continuous process. The challenges your department faces today may not be the same ones it faces 6 months from now. By regularly evaluating your performance, seeking feedback, and adjusting your strategies, you ensure that your department remains agile and prepared for whatever comes next. Breaking even isn't just the beginning. The real goal is to create a service department that thrives no matter the circumstances. Now, if you're a service manager, fixed ops director, or general manager aiming to take control of your department's profitability, you need Rose Plus, the ultimate repair order survey and evaluation software. With seamless DMS integration, Rose Plus gives you unmatched financial insights, empowering you to boost service advisor performance, make smarter decisions, refine pricing strategies, and uncover hidden revenue opportunities. Ready to see the difference? Visit www.m5ms.com to learn more and request a demo today by filling out our free consultation form. Now, before we go, it's time for this week's homework. We've crafted an 8-point guide designed to help you tackle the challenges of breaking even in your service department. This comprehensive resource includes detailed strategies for improving technician productivity, refining advisor training, optimizing scheduling, and much more. You can access it in the show notes or visit our website, www.m5ms.com, and navigate to the Driving Insights section. There you'll find the episode list and a link to download the guide, packed with actionable steps and expert tips to set your department on the path to financial stability and success. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for listening. I've been your host, Tim Harkins, brand manager here at M5 Management Services. As always, if you have any questions or topic suggestions, or may be interested in how M5 could help your fixed operations department, please contact us on our website, www.m5ms.com. Make sure to tune in next time, where we'll talk about more industry topics that will help drive your fixed operations department to increased efficiency, customer retention, and long-term profitability. Thank you, everyone. This has been Driving Insights.